Brandon, first of all, thank you very much for taking the time this evening.
No problem.
How's Holland treating you so far?
Sick. We love it here. I feel like this is it's one of our favorite spots to come whenever we're in Europe. I think that for whatever reason people like us here. Like the shows here are always crazy. They keep getting like more wild as we play here. So it's like it's a market that you can like actually see how your band's growing and stuff, which is really cool. So, but we love playing here. It's tight. There's like, especially this area is sick. Like there's like good food everywhere and stuff, and it's awesome. It's not like boring middle of nowhere venue with nothing around like we're used to, right? Like it's actually fun.
How's it going with Architects and While She Sleeps so far?
Sick. Yeah, tour's been awesome. Like we met While She Sleeps like the first day of this tour, but Architects have been friends of ours since I think like. Probably for like 8 years or something. We've been friends with them. So, yeah, I think the first time we toured with them was probably 2010, 2011 maybe?
8 years so far.
Something like that, yeah. But yeah, they're great, really good friends of ours. Their bands are awesome, good people, so very cool.
Judging by your latest tweets of the band and you too, you're still kind of treated like the underdog of this tour, so sure. Yeah. Especially today with the poster from the venue.
Oh,
it was Architects and While She Sleeps. I was thinking like, what the hell?
We're kind of used to it now, you know what I mean? Like whenever we come over and we know, like especially in Europe, like if we're opening a tour, like we know like we're getting treated like shit for sure. And I mean, it's not always like that. I would say like, if like on this tour, like if we have 9 shows, 6 or 7 of them will be great, and then the other 2 or 3 will be like, like we played in Berlin, and just like everybody at the venue like didn't give a shit, like no one was helping, like we got there and
Stef wanted to help.
For sure, and like not that we need that much help, but we like at other venues we played in Prague, and we got to the venue and I turned around for like a split second and there was like 15 people that work for the venue that just walked up and were like, we're loading your stuff in, and we're like, okay, sure, and that's cool. But then in like Berlin, we got there and there were all these like stagehand loader guys, and our driver heard them say like, oh, they're just the opener, like who gives a shit, like we're not gonna help them out. And it's like, oh yeah, fuck us, right? Like we're who the fuck are we again? Like but we're what I mean, we're used to it. And if there's ever like actual problems with the venue, like last time we did a tour in Europe with Architects, there'd be times where things would be fucked up, or like the venue would treat us like shit, and honestly like Sam would just go and yell at and just give them shit and be like, they're on the fucking tour, like you need to take care of them like you take care of us and shit. And it's really cool. So we don't really care. I mean, we still get to play in front of like thousands of people every night, so it doesn't really matter. But just like that sort of mentality is just like a pain in the ass. Like the other day, sound check took so fucking long. We were supposed to check at like 5. We ended up checking at 6. We had to hold doors, and we're like, yo, like, and like we have a sound guy with us, but he still needs the venue staff to come and like, do their job. And he's like screaming like, where the fuck is anybody that works at this venue? You know what I mean? But no one was helping us, and we were just like, dude, for Christ's sake, you know what I mean? Like we just want to get we need like 15 minutes to sound check, and that's it. Like we just want to get our stuff done, but whatever. It doesn't make us that mad. Like at the end of the day, we still get to tour.
Still get to play like thousands of people,
Exactly.
This was the first time you guys wrote an entire album as a band as a whole. How was that experience?
It was cool. Like I actually really like it like that, because when you have 5 people writing a record, and you have like ideas, and sometimes someone will have an idea but they can't like articulate it, and they can't fully explain what they're thinking, and then somebody else will go, oh, I think I know what you mean, like this, and they'll play something, and then somebody else will chime in and be like, yeah, but what if instead of doing that you ended on this, and it's really cool to have a lot of heads working on.
Now you can combine minds.
Exactly, right? As opposed to one guy being like, well, this is what I wrote, and if you don't like it, tough shit, because I wrote it all. You know what I mean? It's like, no, there's none of that. It's like everyone is just working all together, and we just like spend, a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks in a room together and just like, make a record pretty much. And it's actually really cool doing it like that. Cool.
I've heard you have asthma.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, how's that treating you, like while screaming around an entire set?
It's okay. I mean, my asthma is like, it's pretty mild. So I mean, it's not often that I like need my inhaler or I like have to go to the hospital. It's like, obviously if if I get sick, like if we're on tour and I get like a chest infection and it affects my lungs, like then I'm automatically worse off. Yeah, you know, as opposed to everybody else. But it's not that bad. You know what I mean? Like I do have asthma, and like I mean I still smoke cigarettes and I still scream for a living and stuff. And it's like, well, whatever. Like, you know, I haven't went to the hospital yet, and if I ever do, then maybe I'll be like, all right, I should probably relax a little. But for right now, it's fine. I mean, I think the only real problem that I have is like when we're on stage, like I just get out of gas like way quicker than I would if I didn't have asthma.
Let the crowd sing a little bit.
That's my thing. And then everybody's always like, you know, you let the crowd like sing, and like you don't do half the set, you just hold the mic out. I'm like, yeah, but even if I didn't have asthma, I would still do that, because it's like, it's cool. Yo, you paid to come, so like you do it. You know what I mean? It's just you involve the crowd, and then they enjoy the show more. You know, so.
Not your typical opener.
Exactly, right? Yeah, like people, and that was the thing, is like our set in that day we had that, you know, when everyone was like treating us like shit, we had like a crazy set. And so it was just funny to watch these stagehands be like,
holy shit.
Oh, you know, like, oh, they're just the opener, like whatever. And then we went on stage and we like smashed, and like everybody knew the words. It was like sick. And then after we got off stage, and I was like, yeah, that was so sick, considering we're just like the fucking opening band that no one knows, right? But it was cool.
Cool. You as a band play karaoke.
Yeah.
I saw.
Yeah.
It's kind of your thing.
Yeah.
How many times a week you do karaoke? And what's your favorite song?
Well, like when, I wouldn't say it's weekly. I mean, on Warped Tour this summer, it was weekly just because we brought our own like DIY karaoke rig. So every single Friday, and like it was kind of dumb because the Warped Tour, they do like barbecues every Friday. But we were just like, yo, fuck the barbecue. Like we're doing our karaoke thing. And like so many people came, and it was like always crazy. So on Warped Tour, it was a once a week thing. But I would say like we were in Europe like a month and a half ago. And on that one, I think we did karaoke twice on that tour. Okay. And then when we're at home, if we're in like Hamilton and it's like a big night with a bunch of our friends, like as soon as we have like, you know, 4 or 5 people or more, we're just like, we can go to karaoke. It's going to be like, you know, $20 each, like for 3 hours. Let's just go. Right. So it's just fun. Like we do it a lot. I mean, the songs that we do, we normally do like pretty much like we just judge the room, right? Like we kind of know, like if I'm going to pick a song, like I know what everybody like, and I know everyone in the room. I'm like, I'm going to do this because everybody's going to be screaming it. So
that's fine.
You know, like you never want to do like a song that you know, and everybody else in the room's just like,
what is this?
What the fuck song is this? Like, I don't know the words to this. You know, you want to be able to like throw the mic around and have everybody freaking out. So that it's kind of like how we pick our set list for tours. Honestly, we're like, we could play. You know, we can play like a deep cut from Hell and Home, but no one in the room's gonna know what it is. Or we can play like, you know, Bouquet or something, or No Servant, where people actually know what's going on, right?
A little bit more serious on a note. What do you guys think about the sexual harassment claims in the hardcore scene lately? I saw a couple of bands getting some shit about that, but
yeah, for sure. I mean, so our stance on it is just like, you know, it's not acceptable in any way, shape, or form. Like, you know, regardless of band or regardless of who it is, and you know what I mean. And even like there's been times where we've seen stuff like that, and we've been like, oh, we knew that guy and we didn't really know that anything was going on. Or, you know, like lately it's been like, shit, you know, we've like, that guy was like a friend of ours and we had no idea that this stuff was going on. And it's kind of just like, you know, it's kind of like a immediate, like, just cut the ties and just be like, you know what, like we're not going to involve ourselves with that type of shit, just because like, I think it's very rampant. And I think that as time goes on, you know, people are sort of smartening up and realizing like, you know, these are things that you can and can't do. And this is how you deal with, you know, predators and stuff like that. But I mean, any of that stuff, like I like to think that, you know, I like to think that all of us, like, you know, we try our absolute hardest to
not get involved in that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like, and honestly, it's like, for me, it's like, it's so fucking easy, you know what I mean? Like it's so easy to not, you know, disrespect women. And it's so easy to not talk to underage girls. And it's so simple to not like abuse anybody because, you know, but then at the end of the day, like sometimes things will happen and you're just like,
holy shit,
what the fuck? Like him, like, you know, and it's crazy. But like I said, in my mind, I think that, you know, maybe yeah, I think that we're all normal people, and we all and we've known forever, like, you know, these are things, like, there's things that you can do, things that you can't, and stuff, and I like to think that, you know, even in terms of, like, you know, consensual stuff and everything, and it's like people hooking up and then afterwards being, you know, saying like I felt pressured or whatever, and it's like I just hope to God that, you know, no one I know or myself has never made anybody feel like that, and you know, I've always tried to, you know, sort of not involve myself in that and speak out against it, and you know, I'm trying to do more so now for it, just because I want to be able to make it a safer place for everybody involved. You know, there's no, for me, it's like if you're coming to these shows and stuff like that, and you know, you're into the music and you're into hardcore, metalcore, whatever it is, it's like, I feel like the last thing you should be doing at a show anyway is being like, okay, like I'm trying to find like a girl to take home. Yeah. In my mind, like I was never going to shows doing that, because I was like, who's playing? Oh, I like those bands, I'm gonna go watch those bands. You know, I wasn't worried about, oh, maybe I'll meet somebody and get laid or something. Like that was just never stupid. Yeah. But I mean, to be fair, we're all, you know, we've never had that like bro, you know, party, like let's go pick up girl mentality. Like we literally all play Magic the Gathering. So it's like we're not, you know what I mean? We're not very, we're not Playboy dudes by any means who play card games and like
not Steel Panther or something.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like we're an example of how not, like if you want to play in a band to meet sexual partners, like we're an example of how not to do it, because we just Adrian and I will just play our Magic game, like, you know, and we watch funny YouTube videos and shit, and like that's what we care about, you know. But no, I think the scene's in like a really weird time, but right now, but I think that it's all working towards the better, honestly, you know. Like everyone is, with everybody, you know, with victims coming forward and you know, these things being put in place, and even just something as simple as telling people, you know, it's like, for example, like, you know, when I think back to when I was like in high school, yeah, you know, if somebody made like a sexist joke or something, like I'd probably laugh and not even think anything of it now. But you know, as an adult, you know, now that I'm like 26 and I do this for a living and I do all this stuff, it's like, you know, now when I hear those types of jokes, I'm just like, that's not even fucking funny. You know what I mean? Like you're just enabling that culture. Like, so.
I understand.
Yeah, you know, I think as long as you know, you sort of change your way of thinking and sort of make it, you know, you try to better yourself, and you know, like I'm not gonna like beat the shit out of somebody for, you know, for making a comment like that, but I'll definitely tell them like, yo, it's not cool. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't talk like that, or you shouldn't think like that, and hopefully you can persuade them to see your side. But if you can't, then it's like, well, fuck it, I don't need you. I just don't fuck with you then. You know, it's all good. But.
Okay. Cool. Thanks. That was it. Thanks.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Good luck on the show.
Ted, thanks so much. I hope it's good. Yeah. We'll see. No promises, but I hope everyone enjoys it.
I got some Jägermeisters for you guys. So some small ones.
I'll take it. Thank you so much.